This is Donna Rentelman, and I'm interviewing Mr. Malcolm Floyd of Auburndale.
I was born in Brookline and lived there about a year. Then my parents decided to come out to Auburndale here, where a lot of people were coming due to the recreational facilities they had in the summertime, canoeing on the river, the riverside swimming pool, and all the activities and amusements at Norbigger Park. And there was a time when the air out here was considered to be very healthful, and they had several places, houses here where people came and spent their vacations just to get a breath of the healthful air out in the Newtons and up in Weston. One of my fondest memories of a youngster was the canoeing on the river and the park. The boating and the rowing and canoeing was very popular then. And there were, from Riverside down to Waltham, there was approximately 8 or 9 very large wooden canoe houses. And there was the Riverside boathouse, and then there was a huge one at Norbigger Park. So there was plenty of chances to go canoeing on the river. Also, they had, at Riverside, they had band concerts, and then down near Waltham, there's a little small island out in the middle of the river called Fox Island, and the band would be paddled out to the island, and there would be a band concert. And I have often heard that they said the canoes were so thick of the people just all coming around to listen to the music that you could walk from the shore of the river right across the island, across the decks, the canoes, if that could have been done. As a rule, on Sundays, most people, the only amusement was, especially in the fall and the spring, before the park opened and so forth, people went out for walks or hikes. See parents with a whole bunch of kids out and so forth. They go walking up through Weston, through the woods. It was more darn fun. When you got home, you were really tired. You didn't have any energy to go out and get into trouble or anything. You were ready for supper in bed. But it wasn't hard to build up there like it was now. And, of course, the change is tremendous. At that time, as I remembered, Auburndale was just another little lazy, quiet country town with a horse-drawn fire station in it, and a block of stores, with some trolleys going through, and all the main streets had beautiful elm trees over in the summertime, the shadows of the trees. And it was just as nice and quiet as could be. It really was lovely. And in the summertime, too, I remember seeing a couple of runaway horses, too. They were usually horses that had been under wagons and so forth, and they were stopped downtown where the owner got out. But sometimes a big piece of newspaper or something, the wind would blow it, and, it would come skittering along towards them, and the horse would shy, and they'd panic very easy. And they'd pull and break away and start running down the street with nobody in it, and usually the owner running down after him, swearing his head off. Of course, he couldn't catch him. Winters, I remember them primarily as the snow starting around Thanksgiving, and even skating starting about Thanksgiving. And as I remember winters then, there was snow on the ground constantly between this Thanksgiving time right up until March. I can remember at the end of March skating down the river, and at least 8 or 9 inches of snow still on the ground.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I don't have those anymore.
Yeah. And one of the fun things of winter was catching rides on the pungs, the horse-drawn pungs, the sleighs. They were easy to do because all you had to do was see one going along and then run after it and just step on one of the runners and hold on to the sides of the pung and get a ride. However, if the driver didn't like the kids on or didn't want you on, you'd see him look back at you and then all of a sudden reach over and get his whip and he'd take a pass at you with your whip and you get out of the way fast.
I bet.
Also, kids did a lot of coasting. Kids, every time you see a kid in the wintertime, it'd be towing a sled behind them. And there was not the traffic problem then, and you could go up any one of the big hills here and slide down, have a nice, wonderful slide, because the streets were always covered with snow anyways. The trolley cars, they were another memory, electric trolley cars. And you could go from Auburndale into Boston for 10 cents. And that was always a nice ride, and particularly in the summer when they got the open trolleys out. They were all open. They were covered in the top, of course, and so forth. But you get all that nice cool breeze on you. And trolleys went everywhere, from one town to another. You could go practically anywhere, just like you can with a bus.
Did they carry you into Boston as well?
Yes. They started way down where the Marriott Hotel is here now, down the end of Comfort Avenue, and go into Lake Street. The cars from Auburndale, he would come down, it was like that, and go right into Boston. And we had a club in the Auburndale, up here in Auburndale, and they had dancing twice a month and so forth.
Was that the Auburndale Club?
It's the Auburndale Club. It's now a theater. It's at Turtle Lane Theater. And but that's what it was. My father was president of it, and it was wonderful. It was unique. They had bowling up there. The Honeywell had a club down in Newton, and there used to be neighborhood clubs in West Newton and Woburn. Our Auburndale Club had dances.
Did they have holiday celebrations at the Auburndale Club?
Yes, Christmas and New Year's Eve were always formal. Went there, you went formal. You got to know everybody. It was marvelous. So,
did you ever participate in the LaSalle Music Festival?
No, no. LaSalle was a very influential college back those days. And I can remember they had quite a riding stable. You could go from Auburndale here up through Bridle Paths and these big estates. They would allow the LaSalle horses to go through their bridle paths. And on weekends, LaSalle would rent their horses, saddle horses, to people that they knew and so forth. And my dad would take me and a couple of other people would go up and rent some horses and ride out of LaSalle through the yards and up round by the Charles River, up through Riverside, and you'd ride up all through Weston and Wellesley. You wouldn't see a house. There was nothing up there. All woods, beautiful woods, and all through the pass, and you'd spend all afternoon riding and come back for a couple of dollars.
Wow.
And it was quite a thing. I used to be quite a horseback ride. I loved it.
So did all the children from your neighborhood go to the same school?
Yes. They went
Was there only one school, or were there?
No, there was the Burr School on this side of the tracks and the Williams School on the other side.
So everyone from here went to the Burr School?
Yes. Well, I was from here, but I went to the Williams School.
Oh, you
My
did?
mother got me into the Williams School because that was, at that time, the proper school to go to. All the better children were in the Williams School.
And was the Williams School for kindergarten onwards?
Yes, they went from kindergarten on to the 6th grade as a rule. Junior high school business didn't start, as I can remember, till 1927, where they had 8th and 9th and 10th grades. 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th grades.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Floyd, for your time.
Pleasure, dear. I'm glad I could help you. Indeed, you've done a good job.